John Pienaar at Drive on Times Radio.
So President Zelenskyy of Ukraine is having talks in Turkey with the Turkish leadership, but things at home in Ukraine are not going terribly well. 25 people were killed in an airstrike on the west of the country last night, and a corruption scandal has so far driven 2 senior ministers from office, and the knives are out for Zelenskyy's chief of staff. The legislators in opposition and in Zelenskyy's own party fear a loss of trust in the public, and some critics are pushing for a new unity government. That hasn't happened since the full-scale invasion. Kira Rudik joins us now, the leader of the opposition Holos Party in Kyiv. Hello to you, Kira.
Hello, John, and thank you so much for having me. It's good to be back on the show.
Always welcome, Kira. Now, this corruption scandal, it looks pretty serious. It's about payoffs involving the energy sector, and it does seem to have transformed the political mood, doesn't it, and cut away at trust in Zelenskyy.
Absolutely. You see, right now we are in the situation when we are all in Ukraine fighting for our survival. We are supporting our army. We are living with a couple of hours of electricity a day and sometimes without water supply. And at this situation, when many people are donating their last pennies to support our army, to learn that somebody is stealing from the country that is bleeding is absolutely unacceptable. It's unacceptable that they are in the government and in the president's surroundings. This is why we are calling for the re-election of the government. And right now, during the wartime, we cannot have re-election of the parliament or re-election of the president. But what we can do to show that corruption will not be tolerated and that trust can be rebuilt, what we can show to the people is that there is a change. And for that, we need a new coalition and we need a new government. And it is absolutely doable. We are calling right now for Zelenskyy to dismiss his coalition and for the oppositional parties start the negotiations about the new coalition and setting up the new government.
Right. It's right, isn't it, Kira, that President Zelenskyy himself is not being accused of misconduct or corruption. This is about some of those around him, close to him.
That's absolutely true. And this is why we are calling for him to do the right thing. It's his reaction that will show to people that he is eager to fight corruption and that he is eager to stand with the people. That's what he has promised, that he will not tolerate that. It is up to him to dismiss his chief of staff. It is up to him to call for his party to dismiss the coalition and go ahead with setting up a new government. And right now, this is the only way to show people that we are still all standing on the same side. It was incredibly painful, John, incredibly to learn about this corruption case that is happening at the time again when we are all suffering together. And this is why President just really needs to step up and do the right thing.
I mean, President Zelenskyy's personal popularity seems to have fallen, according to surveys. But this demand, though, for a new government, a new cabinet around President Zelenskyy, I mean, can that go very far? Because Zelenskyy does have a big majority in the legislature, doesn't he?
Well, right now, many members of his own party are calling for the same thing because I truly believe that they have done nothing wrong. And this massive stain is on everyone who was voting to elect this government, on everyone who was supporting president's office, etc. So again, we are not talking right now about how bad what happened is, and it's obviously very bad. We are talking about what should be the next steps for the country to be able to remain stable. And we know that president needs to have certain support so he will be able to represent us on the international arena, that the government needs to have trust and be able to work with the parliament in a normal way without having all those corruption cases brought up over and over. Prosecution needs to have a free space to continue investigation and take it to the courts. So we need to operate as a democracy. We are very proud that we still remain a democracy. There are some limitations that the wartime is putting on us, but this is honestly the only way out that I see for president and for his political party.
Now, in the meanwhile, Kira, there are reports you'll know on Axios of American representatives putting together a peace plan of some kind, which seems to be reportedly more to the liking of Moscow. What do you make of that?
Well, we didn't hear anything yet except like what you have heard as well from Axios. We know that there would be envoys coming to Kyiv today and tomorrow who perhaps will be bringing some details on that. And again, it gets us back to the question that president needs to have a stable government and stable parliament at the times when there is additional pressure from the outside. And this is why he needs to sort things out internally really quickly. We do not anticipate anything good, right? Because if Russia didn't agree to the proposals by President Trump for a ceasefire, they are still attacking us, and this night they have attacked a city really far west in Ukraine, closer to the borders. So why do we think that anything good can be there in this peace plan if Russia didn't agree to a ceasefire and continues the killings?
All right, Kira, as always, good to talk to you. Thank you so much, and do take care. Kira Rudik there, leader of the opposition Holos Party in Kyiv.
Didn't hear that something is put on a hold. Just let's take reparation loan. Let's take immobilized Russian assets. We 3 years of work. The decision is still not here. So the decision is definitely overdue. This is not because yesterday that this scandal happened or 3 years ago something happened, but this additional information, as you said, fuels the decisions of political leaders of other countries. So it provides a small impact, but still impact in deciding whether Ukraine should get this reparation loan or not. There is no alternative to this. If Europe wants Ukraine to survive and Europe to remain secure, these assets must be used. And actually, there is no other realistic source of funding of the scale required. We don't want EU taxpayers to pay for what Russia is doing, but we want to use its assets to pay for that. But we know the position of Belgium and Euroclear. So Euroclear objects to using Russian assets to defend Ukraine, and Belgium is trying to mutualize the risk sharing with EU countries because they are concerned of legal risks of claims against Belgium from Russian Federation. But in case we are not doing this, we have to consider the consequences of this scenario where Ukraine